Good morning. And what do we do with Cindy?
She's working on a report that has a deadline, and so she asked us to.
You got her tied up in the office.
Yeah, we got her tied.
Chained to a computer. We will start with flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's February 23rd, 2023. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. On my left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3. I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. What is first?
Item 3, consent agenda.
I will move for approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $2,334,137.67. Some of the highlights out of that voucher report: the largest item is under pooled cash, of which is primarily payroll. That was $1,108,851.49. Under building and maintenance, we have Neal Painting and Special Coatings for $27,957.37. That is the painting of the pool basins at Hillcrest, Rossville, and Garfield Pool. Under the detention facility, and this is being paid with the ARPA SLFRF funds, we have Meridian Roofing Solutions for $105,416.32. That is for Phase 2 of the roof replacement. Under Information Technology, SHI International, $113,108.40 is for Microsoft Exchange Online and Office 365 subscriptions. Having reviewed the vouchers, I do not have any questions. I would move for their approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
I'd move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, emergency management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-71-2023 for the implementation of nurse navigation and crew force.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castile, Ambulance Compliance Officer. We had a really good work session on Monday where I gave probably about an hour or so of a presentation that outlined this item and the next item, so I'll be brief on this one. I would like to start again by thanking all of these people listed here. They are our stakeholders, but they were also some of the partners that helped us get here to the finish line. It was a rather long process, but I think that we have come up with something that will really benefit Shawnee County, our first responders, and our citizens. You directed me to implement the nurse navigation program. We took the multi-pronged approach to make sure that all the stakeholders were heard from, and then we came up with some compromises and made some decisions that after making a valid gap assessment and gap analysis. So briefly, and I have a table for this, so I won't belabor it as much. $60,000 a year from the ARPA funds for the first 24 months, and then would be paying for the nurse navigation system. As a part of the CIP 23 funds, the first year is discounted, but we would purchase the crew force application in the amount of $91,955 from CIP 23. That allows the first responders and others to put the CAD system and the information from the CAD system onto any mobile device or computer, tablet, any of that technology. That will greatly assist in taking the load off of our 911 employees. They are still short-staffed a little bit, and we want to be able to help them with less radio traffic and to get the information immediately out to the first responders. It's an interactive program. And then for the following years, well, let me go back here a second. The other one, I got ahead of myself. The AMR, starting as soon as they can, they will be implementing at a prorated rate $30,000 to put a third dispatcher into the 911 center with theirs. That will be no more than 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we will give them a subsidy of $30,000. That will be in addition to the $50,000 that we currently give them to be in there. Future years right now, will come out of the general fund. The first year will come out of the ARPA funds that we had. Also, we are going to authorize AMR to utilize call centers outside Shawnee County to roll over calls, so when those folks are busy or when there's only 2 there, or when we have high volume times, they are working through the technology issues that they have on that. They will be providing me with real-time program data in answer to a couple of the questions on Monday. There will be some metrics that we put into place to look at, see where are we at on a monthly basis, weekly basis. We want to look and see, as a pilot program, we really want to see where our gaps or our issues are with a program of this nature. The new exemptions, those are listed in the resolution. These refer to the blood draws, some of the standbys that they go on, and other things that pull ambulances out of the system, but yet it counts against them if they are late getting to them. And they're really not an EMS low acuity call because they are something that is in addition to what they would normally do. And here is the chart that shows right now. The first is the $150,000 would be out of ARPA funds, and we want to stay within the deadlines that have been set for that. CIP 23, we got a discount of approximately, I believe, $39,000 from New World Tyler for the crew force that allows us to go forward. The one thing I did not mention as a part of crew force, and I don't believe I put it on the slide there, is as a part of the maintenance that all technology programs seem to have nowadays, the $19,311 would be split evenly among the first responders for the coming years. And then in the last one that says to be determined, immediately after this meeting, we will start looking to the future per your direction to figure out how to sustain this program starting in year number 3, provided that the pilot program works out the way that we need it to work out as a benefit and meets the metrics. John Antrim is here from AMR. Mickey Huber is here from AMR, and I also have the Director and Deputy Director of 911 here, should you have any questions.
Mr. Chairman? Yes. Nelson, can we talk a little bit more about the crew force 2024 to 2025? You have $19,311, and you said that will be shared by the first responder organizations. Now, is that the total amount, or is that $19,311 per first responder organization?
That'd be the total amount, sir.
Okay. So how did we go from 91,000 in the first year to 19,000 in the second year?
We purchased the program, which is apparently worth $91,955, and then it would be how would you compare it? Like and I'm gonna make our IT director cringe here. You buy a computer for a certain amount, and then you pay for the maintenance for that computer or the warranty for it.
Mark Price, Information Technology, and I don't know the exact numbers on this, but when we bought Tyler New World, it was, a multi-million-dollar investment, but then our annual maintenance is about, was it $300,000 a year, I believe, that we're paying for maintaining the Tyler New World. So this is just along those same lines. It's an initial, you're buying licenses, you're buying an implementation service, and then you're paying for the maintenance in out years.
So then to clarify for those that are watching and those at home, when they see the word crew force. Crew force is referring to the software. Crew force is not referring to personnel.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're clear that
Yes.
crew force is not hiring more people. Crew force is the name of the software that we are using for nurse navigation.
Yes.
All right. Just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you, Director, for rescuing me up here.
I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions? Yes.
And maybe this is a question more for AMR, but I'm looking through the slide deck here, and I just want to clarify that I'm understanding this correctly. So it's looking at, as of the communities that have already implemented nurse navigation, it looks like between 6 and 8% of calls that are going to go, are usually diverted. Is that about right? Or am I reading that correctly? It says percent of total EMS calls, and then the percent that's diverted, it looks like, is around 6 to 8%, depending on the year.
Yeah, it just kind of fluctuates based on the year. Again, this is based off of that EMD protocol. So we kind of vary, like I said on Monday, anywhere from 6 to 8,000 alpha level calls a year. So when you look at the grand scheme of 30,000 calls that we get a year, it is a small amount, but it's really a huge benefit to the system all around. So, yeah, and then a small portion of those are still going to come back for transport. But the benefit of it, they've now been assessed by our dispatchers. There's been a review by a nurse. So it may come back to us as, hey, can you pick them up and have them to the hospital within 3 hours? So then we'll schedule it so we're not taking a busy 911 truck out of the system, and then we can just plug them in as we go when it comes to those situations.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then, I know you guys keep really good data. We'd love to see, after a while, when we have some data to look at, what the effects of the program has been.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Once again, thanks for all your work on this and everybody else involved, all the stakeholders. AMR, thank you.
Yeah, and actually, Nelson's first slide was a list of everyone involved. He failed to mention himself, I believe. So thank you, Nelson, for all your hard work on this.
A cast of thousands on there, so thanks. All right. Next item.
Number 2, consider approval of resolution number 2023-14, which implements the Shawnee County EMS system resolution recommended by the ambulance compliance officers and rescinds and replaces current resolution 2012-59.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castillo, Ambulance Compliance. As I briefed on Monday, the resolution 2012-59 was put in for a specific reason, and that was to look at our EMS system back then and see what improvements could be made, needed to be made. And those improvements were made through the RFP process, where we signed a contract in July of 16 with AMR. It was a 5-year contract. Later on in December of 2021, after we saw the benefits that we had reaped from that, the contract was extended a full 5 years instead of the 5 one-year automatic extensions. The original intent was met. Even though we had the pandemic kind of happen in the middle of it, we were still able to reap some fascinating benefits from it. With that in mind, we went out to some of the same stakeholders and looked to what we need to do, where we need to be going. The nurse navigation and the crew force are just one aspect of that, and there's a lot of other things that I think that we would like to tackle. We would like to use a whole community approach and examine this post-pandemic world and see how the emergency medical system can be adapted to that. The way the EMS system works now is considerably different than the way it worked before 2020. So 2012-59 would be rescinded. We would put the current resolution in that has a number of stakeholder task forces, groups, committees, and they would come to you then with recommendations. we would try to set a EMS plan on a regular basis to be looking forward strategically and deciding where to go. Two of the changes that will have to be made are the tuition assistance provided by AMR. We will need to revamp that resolution just slightly. And I'll mention that one just briefly. AMR, as a part of their contract, is required each year to provide $10,000 worth of tuition assistance to the first responders. That would be the medical folks that are listed on that first slide. And that is split out among the 9 departments of $11.11. We just split it by 9, and we let AMR keep the extra penny there. And then the first responder grant application processes were put into force through a resolution as well, and that is where the fine and penalty money is provided by you through, I believe, through a process June 1st through July 1st of each year. And we would want to revamp how that decision was come to. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? It appears in here that we will get quarterly reports as part of this.
At least.
Okay. Very good. All right. Any other questions?
I'll move
Oh.
for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item C, solid waste. Number 1, consider the appointment of new member Brittany Laughlin to the Solid Waste Management Committee.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. This agenda item is a request for appointment of Ms. Laughlin to the Solid Waste Management Committee. It is a required committee by statute that helps develop the county's solid waste management plan. This document here, if approved, will feed into the annual update, which will be coming back before the commissioners here in the next couple of weeks. So subject to your questions, gentlemen.
Questions?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item D, information technology. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C70 2023, reference contract C43 2022, renewal with Computer Information Concepts for the annual Peopleware agreement, which provides support for the hardware and software elements that comprise the tax administration solution platform at a cost of $63,895 with funding from the IT 2023 budget.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Price again. Just to simplify what Chris just said, this is our CIC tax administration software. We use it for revenue collection and distribution and record keeping of all of our taxes. And we're just doing our annual renewal, and I can answer any other questions you might have.
Questions?
No.
I would move for approval then.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All,
Nope.
you both did it
I
at
was
the
just
same time.
quieter than you.
He was,
Good.
speak up. Seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 5, public comment.
I don't have anyone signed up. Is there anyone here wishing to speak? Seeing none. Next item.
Item 6, administrative communications.
No one? All right. Commissioner Mays, do you have anything?
I don't think I have anything to say today.
Commissioner Cook?
I think you have some announcements to make about an upcoming work session, don't
I
you?
do. I have several here. We will have a work session on the 27th and on the 26th here in this chamber. On March 13th, we're going to be taking our work session on the road. We'll be at Gage Park, and we're going to be doing the dedication, ribbon cutting, official first ride of the new mini train. So that will be at 9 o'clock, same time as our normal work sessions. We're just gonna move it out there that day. That's
Pray
it.
for- Pray for good weather.
We want good weather and a good train driver, so.
Any volunteers?
Jim, you come from a long line of railroaders, maybe you could,
Maybe I can do a quick crash course.
maybe so.
Emphasis not on the crash.
Trash. Okay, next item,
Item 7, executive sessions.
we have no need for executive session, so we are adjourned. Thank you.
I think we ought to let Brent help.